Okay, so first of all we're going to make sure that we've got a shoulder width stance. That's what we need. We can go a little bit wider if we need to, but it's better to be as comfortable as what you can. Wider stance rather than a narrower stance. We take out the weapon. When we take out the weapon, we like to keep our support hand very close to our body. When we actually take the weapon out of the holster, hand comes down onto the actual gun itself rather than in from the side or from the back. So from this position here, down. Weapon comes out, comes up, pretty much chin level. If we can keep it chin level the whole time while we're loading the weapon, we can actually look around us. So we've got our situation awareness happening, and we've also got our field of vision is a lot better. Someone now wants to run at us from the sides, then we'll be able to see. A lot better than actually loading down here, where you're not actually being able to look around and scan what's happening. I've actually seen a few guys here that have actually taken their gun out here and loaded here, which is a very dangerous thing to do. One, you're pointing the gun downwards towards your feet, and two, how can you see where the magazine's going in? Makes it very hard. So, best way of doing it is to come down, out, aim the gun towards the target. Now, someone might be running towards you if you're in a security position here, and that would allow you to take a shot before you actually bringing up the front sight. Shouldn't ever take a shot with a pistol unless you can see the front sight, only in extreme circumstances where someone might be getting within your workspace area here. So gun comes out, comes up chin level, magazine comes out. Again, you want to make sure that you're on the smooth side of the magazine, so your square sides at the back, and you want to be using this holding finger as well. Okay, we'll use this finger for locating the whole the magazine well. Up here, push it in, firm but not too hard, you don't want to dislodge any of the bullets. Up onto the target, and then hand over the top, and then a real strong rack. Once we've done a real strong rack, if we was now going to holster the weapon, it would be a good idea to quickly check to make sure that there is a round in battery. You can do that by just pulling the slide back. Once you've done that though, you want to smack the back of the slide just to make sure everything's okay. Come back, again, bring your support hand across to your chest or your stomach area, pull the gun back, make sure your finger's off the weapon and into the holster. Now, with our stance, we want to have 70% of the weight on the front of our feet, 30% on the back. By doing that, slightly bend our knees, we will naturally be pulling our body weight forward, and that gives us the perfect stance that we need to shoot. The main thing that we need to do now is obviously acquire our target. So I've acquired the target in front of us here. Okay, for me now to actually bring the weapon up there, I now need to get some good sight alignment. So the weapon comes out, forward, I've got my target, I've got my sight alignment, and now I'm ready to shoot. My grip needs to be very strong around here to stop the recoil. My thumbs need to be pointing towards the muzzle, good strong grip, and I need to be pulling back with my right hand, pushing forward with my right hand, sorry, and pulling back slightly with my left hand to stop the recoil. Both eyes open, and then we can fire a couple of shots. 2 shots, come back down to the ready position, which is about a metre away from our feet, and then we can come back into the holster. Okay, now the stance that we're using now is called the isosceles stance. There are other stances that we can use. The weaver stance is when you can bring your right foot back here, okay, then you would have your right arm straight and your left arm bent, and you can take a couple of shots in the weaver stance. Security tend to use the isosceles stance more than the weaver stance because of the fact that we wear a bulletproof vest, and wearing a bulletproof vest makes us a little bit more vulnerable from this position around the arm area. So by being head on like this, we tend to expose the greater area of the bulletproof vest, giving us more protection. Now, some of the things that we do tend to see, which is quite wrong, in the way people shoot. We seem to see people that cup their hands like this, which is completely wrong because they're not covering the side of the weapon there. And we do sometimes see people that put their fingers in front of the trigger guard too, which is not really the proper way to do it. One of the most dangerous things that we see as well is when someone holds a gun with their finger behind the actual slide itself. If I was to fire the gun now here, I would obviously cause a bit of damage to my left thumb here, my support thumb. So the best way to actually handle your gun is to make sure that you've got a good support with your master hand, and your non-master hand is just supporting that hand in by covering as much of the weapon as possible. And you can see how flat the gun will be if you're actually doing it properly. Okay, we've now finished that magazine, so what we're going to do now is a mag change. Now you can bounce these mags off the ground, they are quite strong. So on the handle here, this is where our mag release is. We just need to push that and the magazine will drop to the ground. From there we can take our next magazine out. We can chin level, clip it in, and now use the slide lock, pull it down, and we're loaded, ready to shoot again.